Hey guys, it's Krista Tyus here, and tonight it's Friday. And I want to just have a quick conversation. I did a post on Instagram earlier today talking about some very noticeable parallels between bodybuilding and actually building a multi-million-dollar business. And so stick with me for a minute. So here's what's been happening with me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead, hop on over, follow me on Instagram. You get more of a, behind the scenes of what I'm doing with my life. And just what I'm consumed with, which is lifting weights every single day. So right now I weight train 5 days a week, and the goal is to compete in a bodybuilding competition come August 17th is the I believe the Linda Murray Classic bodybuilding competition. And so if you've been following me for any moment of time, you know this is not the first time that I've tried to actually bodybuild and compete. And the very first time that I tried to actually bodybuild was after I gave birth to my second child, my son Charles. And as a woman, after you give birth, your body has changed, your hormones are definitely changed, and I really just felt so empowered to where I was like, man, I want to do something different. And I didn't go into it thinking like, oh, I wanted to be a bodybuilder. It just started off with me running. I lived downtown at that time, right off of the riverfront, and I had gorgeous waterfront views. And I literally would just go running from my apartment or my loft all the way down to the riverfront and back, and it totaled to be about 4 miles. And so that was like my start, or the taste of me actually on like a fitness journey, was just me trying to get my body back after I had my second child. And I just really fell in love with like fitness, like just working out. And I got into a gym. I had got into a gym at the Powerhouse, and I didn't know what I was doing. Everybody could tell I was a newbie because I was like doing things wrong. I was like standing around looking crazy. And then one of the owners actually came over to me. He's like, "What are you trying to do?" So I was like, "You know what? I think I want to compete." And so he actually started to train me on the side, just giving me little pointers and stuff. And I'll end up getting in like some of the best shape of my life. Like I was like 127 pounds. Very small frame. I probably was like a size 0 or 1 at that time. And I just remember feeling like, yes, this is it. I'm gonna finally compete in a bodybuilding competition. And needless to say, that didn't happen. So I got distracted. Life happened. I think I got into a relationship. How many times have we been there where you actually get into a relationship and you start putting your goals and your dreams on the back burner and start investing in the person that you're with, So something like that kind of happened. And long story short, so we're back here, and that was 2013. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that was 6 years ago. And so now we're finally back here, and now I'm more motivated than ever to actually do this, to actually get my body in the most fit it could possibly be in to step on stage in a competition, right? And when people ask me, they're like, well, why do you want to do that? Like, why do you want to bodybuild? Well, first, most men think that I'm going to look like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? They think that women get all extra bulky, and not for what I'm doing. I'm doing what's called bikini bodybuilding, right? Where it's more so just toned. You have abs, you have noticeable muscle definition, but it's not like physique where you're overly muscular, right? It's still very feminine. So with that, people are always, just fascinated, like, why am I doing this? And I just tell them that bodybuilding is probably one of the most disciplined activities that you can take part in your life. Outside of trying to build a multi-million-dollar business, bodybuilding is one of the most disciplined things that you can do in your life. And so what it requires is you to suppress your natural appetite. It requires you to push past pain. Bodybuilding is not natural, to actually go into the gym and lift a weight several times and fatigue your muscle out in the aspirations for it to grow, that's not a natural process. Because our brains, our croc brain, our reptilian brain, which is the back of our brain that keeps us safe, that is responsible for our fight or flight, it loves to be comfortable. And so for you to push past pain while you're bodybuilding, for you to actually lift weights past the point where it's hurting, you are in pain, that is not a normal process. And it has to occur for you to actually grow muscle, for you to actually show muscle definition. And so I correlate that to actually building a multi-million-dollar business. Like when there's been plenty of instances where, I failed so many freaking times. Failed after failure after failure, rejection after rejection. And I correlate that with the pain that you experience when you're actually lifting weight. You have to push past that pain in order for your muscle to grow. And the same is true with building your business. You have to push past the pain of failure. You have to push past the pain of rejection in order to really grow your business to the next level. You have to stay consistent. So one of the things with bodybuilding, in order for you to kind of get those ripped abs, for you to actually have the body that you see on magazines, on Men's Health, on Cosmopolitan, like really chiseled, right? Like really ripped. It requires an extreme amount of discipline with your food, your diet, how you eat. Like I literally have to make sure that I eat 5 times per day. And what I eat, I have to make sure that it's balanced in macronutrients, which just means that I have to have a certain amount of protein, I have to have a certain amount of carbs, and I have to have a certain amount of healthy fats every single meal. And it requires you to make sure that you continue to fatigue your muscles. So you're going to the gym in the hopes of putting your body through turmoil and pain. And it requires you to be on top of your game. Like I have to get enough sleep or I won't be able to perform the next day. I have to make sure that I'm taking care of my body. I'm taking, vitamins, or I won't be able to perform the next day when I go into the gym. And so the same is true in business. Like every single day, I have to show up and do things in my business. I have to make sure that I'm listening to the marketplace. Like, what do my people want? What are they struggling with? What are their pains, their desires? Where do they want to be? And how can I stay consistent in giving them the information, the tools, the resources that's actually going to help them live their lives, like live the life of their dreams? Because that's my goal. That's the whole point on why I'm in business. Because I know the more value that I put into the marketplace, the more people that I'm able to help, the more in return that's just going to benefit me as well, right? It's a reciprocal relationship. And so what I found is that quitting in your business, just like I quit bodybuilding 2 or 3 times already over the past several years, and it's gotten me nowhere. Like I've never hit my goal with that. Like this would be, if I stay consistent, this will be the very first year that I actually did something that I said I was going to do, right? So how many times have you said you were going to do something, whether it was a competition, sports, starting the business, growing your business, whatever the case may be? How many times have you said that you were going to do something and you didn't keep that promise to yourself? You quit, you gave up. Now, in certain instances, it makes sense to quit. If you are on an endeavor and roads change, or you discover information that isn't suitable to you really progressing forward with that goal, it definitely makes sense to quit. There were a few businesses that I started that I shouldn't have started, that I actually had to quit, right? Hey Tawanda, hey Jamar, hey Takara, how are you guys? What you guys doing on a Friday? Any plans? Are you guys going out? I'm just home alone with my ducky because I'm a dork and a geek, and this is all that I do is work. So guys, so like the goal this year, I've been consulting for a year and a half now. and business has been going really great. My clients are getting really great results. They're getting clients, which is the whole goal, is to help you guys grow your business to multiple six figures. That's what I was able to do. You know, I've been in business. I've had my own tax and accounting business since 2012, but I've been doing taxes well prior before that. And I've been able to consistently make, you know, a multi six figure business year after year. You know, just in tax season, I will be bringing in $100,000. And that's not including like my bookkeeping and accounting services that I offered throughout the remainder of the year. So what I love to teach is for people to be able to do exactly what I did, but minus all of the heartbreak and pain. Like, guys, I went broke trying to market my tax and accounting business. Like, some of you may know my story. You may have watched my webinar or seen some of my videos, but I went broke. And, you know, I don't tell you guys, or I didn't tell you guys, like, the magnitude in which that affected me. Like, at one point, me and my two children were homeless. Like, I was living in my tax office for like a month or two, or it might have been a month. I was living in my tax office. Not, you know what? Not because I had to, right? Because I have family. And so some of my family members probably going to watch this and be like, you could have called us, right? But when you are an entrepreneur, you're probably prideful, right? And you probably don't want anyone to know that you're broke and that things aren't going the way that they should be. You know, I was embarrassed. I'm like, I'm a mother. I have two children. And luckily I had a tax office. So I was literally in a position in my life several years ago where I had to choose between my tax office or my home. And I don't know how it happened, but let's just know that I ended up living in my tax office with my two children. Luckily, I even had my tax office to stay in, right? And I remember we had to go to the, and it wasn't like a storefront. This was an office building that I was in. And I remember me and my children, we had to go and sneak out into the hallway to go to the community bathroom in order to wash up, right? In order to wash up and then go back to my office, lock the door. And I mean, humble beginnings, guys, humble. There's so much about me that you guys don't know, so much like heartbreak and pain that I went through, just growing this business, just clawing my way to the top to even make $100,000 in a tax season, to even make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in a month. I had to go through heartbreak and pain. And even after I made the money, guys, right? And this is what I really want to start teaching people how to do. I'm going to do a few videos about it, is that I was making that money and still freaking broke by June, July, right? Because I didn't, guys, it's embarrassing. I was broke by June or July after pulling $100,000 in a tax season, right? Because one, I reinvested my money back into my business. I was like gambling with my business, okay? So here's what I mean by that. I would say, okay, I made $10,000 this month, and I would take that money, I would take $5,000, and I would slap it down on a marketing campaign. Just cold turkey. Slap it down on some flyers, slap it down on a billboard or a TV ad or a radio commercial, because I thought that that type of marketing is what everybody else does, right? That's what H&R Block does. That's what all of the big brands are doing. So obviously it must work, right? And so I remember when I got money, I reinvested that money back into my business. It's not like I was living fancy. I didn't have a fancy car. I didn't have a fancy house. Like I reinvested all of that money back into my business, and it was the worst decision that I could have made because I wasn't strategic with my marketing. I didn't have a marketing plan. I didn't have a client avatar. I didn't know what problem or pain I was solving. I didn't know how to differentiate myself from the competition. It was just Me Too advertising, like, oh, get your biggest refund here, or, oh, I'm an enrolled agent. Like, I was marketing just like everyone else, and I went broke doing that. So everything that I do now is honestly coming from a place because I was homeless. I was broke with two children. I felt like I didn't have, like, there was no one, to like help me. Like, and so this is why I do what I do. This is why I create the content that I create. This is why I've done the videos that I've done. I give you guys all the goods practically, like I give you guys the stuff that I wish I would have known 7 years ago or 6 years ago. Now, has it made me a better person? Has it made me a better businesswoman? Has it made me a better entrepreneur? Like all of that. Yes, it has. But do I want somebody else? Do I want a mother or father with, children to go homeless to learn that lesson? Hell no. Hell no, I don't want you guys to go through that just to learn that lesson. Right? So I give it away. So now, I'm at a point in my life where, okay, I built the 6-figure business. I built a few 6-figure businesses. And I've always been on a search for, like, how you just feel something in your chest that you're just supposed to do something big. I don't know if you guys, like, ever felt like that. Like, you feel like, it's a word for it, and I don't know the word, but you feel like you are called to do something bigger. You feel like you are called to do something more. You feel like you need to help more people. You feel like you need to have a bigger impact. And I've always had that, like, in my chest, like in my gut, like I feel like I need to have a bigger impact, right? But I didn't know what, I would try to read all of the books, and I would follow all of the gurus, and I would, listen to Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson, Ty Lopez, Sam Ovens. Like, I would follow everybody trying to figure out, like, what is this that I feel, and how can I actually, like, what can I do? Right? Like, what can I do that will make an impact, that will help people, that will inspire them, that will honestly, guys, and this is the tagline here. What can I do to help make someone else's journey easier? Like, that's why I do what I do. My whole goal is to figure out how can I make someone else's journey easier, because mine was so effed up. Mine was so effed up, okay? Jamar says, thanks for sharing. Jamar is doing taxes. Bless your heart. I remember, guys. Oh, Jamar, I remember being up into the wee mornings, brother. 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning doing tax and accounting clients. Right? Like, the hustle. I can appreciate the hustle. Jamar says, do you have videos on pricing for bookkeeping and accounting services? No, but I can do some. I could definitely do some for you. Pretty much I price off of the scope of services. So, one, how much gross revenue does the business have? And based upon that gross revenue, sometimes you kind of got to look to see, like, how many transactions they really have, because some businesses have thousands of transactions and they don't even make no money. You're like, how you got all these? That's why you don't have no money, because you got all of these transactions occurring and happening, and you got all of these, so you really have to look at the scope to see how many transactions they have, what all you're going to be doing for them. Because if you're going to be just doing the reconciliations, just the monthly bookkeeping, and just, giving them the profit and loss statement, then, you could start. I tell people to typically start around $500, but realistically, Jamar, most people can't afford $500 a month. Like, most small business owners, they can't afford $500 per month. So you really have to really assess the situation to be like, okay, well, for instance, I have a bookkeeping client. It takes me 1 hour, if that, to do his books, and I charge him $350. Is that worth my time? Hell yes. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys, oh, if it's under $500, don't take it. Like, come on now. Like, most small, 80% of businesses make under a couple $100,000. So that's what they can typically afford. So I would say, it really just depends on the scope. If it's taking you an hour to do the work, and, you're providing good quality service, if you could, if they can afford a few $100s, I say go for it, go for it. And then one of the things that I've been telling my students to do is to ask people for their budget, Be like, what's your budget for this? And that'll kind of help you gauge like your first few clients, so like what people are, what do they have going into the relationship, on how much this is valued to them, right? How much this is worth to them. But yeah, I would definitely do a video on that to break it all the way down. You have some great videos. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Jamar. Hey, Venus. She says, that's where I'm at right now. Girl, yes. Like, I got a little emotional there. Like, I was like, Krista, you better not cry on live video. Zanita says, thank you for this. Love your videos. Thank you, Zanita. I love you. I don't know you, but I love you. All right. So yeah, guys. So, okay. So I told you about the time I went broke. That was just one time. Right? We're not talking about, child, I got some story. Like, we could be here, like, I would need, like, a margarita, and we would have to kind of, have to kick it, like, for real. And I don't even drink. I can't drink while I'm bodybuilding. Fun fact, did you know that alcohol does not break down, like, there isn't a bodily function that can sufficiently break down alcohol. So when you drink it, like, your body is like, skrr, like, what are you doing to me? So I don't drink alcohol, but we might have a drink after I hit my fitness goals and go from there. So yeah, so as far as just the biggest lesson that I would say for you guys right now, okay, and this is important. If you are a tax professional, accountant, bookkeeper, CPA, financial coach, you probably get a lot of your money during tax season, okay? Most of us are top heavy, right? We get a lot of money from January, February, March, April, and then the rest of the year is kind of like, if you are a bookkeeper or an accountant and you have those monthly recurring services, that's beautiful, right? Now it's just about how can we get, higher paying clients, or how can we deliver more value added services, charge more for it. Work smarter, not harder, and then make more monthly recurring income. So what I would definitely tell you guys is to monitor your cash flow, right? So one, don't invest in a marketing activity unless you vetted it all the way out. Like I said, I would take my profits from my tax and accounting business, and it was nothing for me to drop $5,000 on a dang on billboard, okay? It was nothing for me to drop, $2,000 on a radio ad, or, $2,000 on a TV commercial that only aired 5 times, like, I was not the brightest. And listen, a lot of you guys are way smarter than I am. I'll be the first to tell you that. I've learned what I've learned through trial and error. And a lot of you guys have been, investing in mentorship, investing in coaching, investing in, up-leveling your skill set. And I wasn't that dang on smart. I was 23 years old when I started that business. And so when you are young, and this is what I definitely noticed about myself and about other people in their 20s, is that you have an ego. Your ego is huge. You think you know everything. You think your stuff is just the best thing since sliced bread, right? And then life smacks you up a few times. So by the time I was 30, boy, oh boy, I'm the humblest. I'll let you know in a minute. I do not know everything. I am not the smartest person. I will outwork you. I will definitely outwork you. But when you go through so much trial and error, you have a greater appreciation of just asking questions. So now I'm at a point in my life where, like, I'm just asking the questions, and I want to listen to everybody right now. I want to listen to the people who aren't, a millionaire, billionaire. I want to listen to them. I want to hear their perspective, their opinion. I want to hear their trials and errors. I want to talk to people who are at the level that I'm trying to go, and I want to hear what pitfalls to avoid. I don't want to have to figure this out again on my own. I don't want to have to bump my head, or to go through the trial and error, or to lose money, to lose time. I told myself I was going to be a millionaire by the time I turned 30 years old, right? That was the goal. Become a millionaire by the time I'm 30, right? And so I remember when I was 27 years old, I was sitting there like, how the hell am I going to become a millionaire? Like, it was so far freaking fetched. It was like, what are the steps? How do I do it? You know, like, what exactly does that mean? Like, how many products do I need to sell? What services can I sell? And I think this is what happens to a lot of people, guys. This is what happens to a lot of you. This is what you do. You start a business because you think that it's going to make you money. That's all you're thinking about. Like, oh, you know what? Taxes. I'm about to get into taxes. I see people tax balling out. You know, oh, they making $10,000 a month. They're making $15,000 a month. Okay, and oh, I only got to work for 90 days out of the year. So people go into taxes because it's cash liquid and it's short season, right? And they want to ball out. And then you have people that go into real estate because they think the same thing. Oh, I just got to sell some houses and I can get checks. I'm going to be like $1 million listing, and I'm going to put on my suit and my, you know, my fancy dress, and I'm going to sell luxury real estate. Like, guys, I'm talking about myself here, right? Like, this is exactly what my mentality was. I'm just like, oh, I'm going to be rich. Okay, so this is how I'm going to become a millionaire by the time I'm 30. Okay, I'm about to sell luxury homes. So you guys can Google me if you guys haven't. Like, I had luxury listings a few years ago, right? So this was my mentality. I'm like, this is how I'm going to become a millionaire by 30. And as soon as resistance happened, this is going back to bodybuilding, as soon as you experience that pain, and I'm not saying I gave up quick. Like, guys, I can endure a lot. My tolerance for pain is high, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing to be saying. But when you go through that and I experienced pain, I left the business. I left real estate. I probably, like, honestly, any one of these businesses can make you a lot of money, right? It's the value that you put into the marketplace ultimately is what I discovered. And it's the problems and pains. It's how are you helping people either fulfill a need or a desire? And it's really that simple. It goes back to first principles. It's just, what is the bare minimum that people need, your ideal target market, your niche market, because you have to start small. And here's another thing, guys. So what I teach, I could teach anybody this. I could teach real estate agents. I could teach lawyers. I could teach accountants, which is what I'm teaching now. I could teach any service-based professional. But what I found is that when you don't start small, your message is a little convoluted. Like, it gets lost in the sauce, right? It's harder for you to break through the noise. And people are like, well, why do you tell people to start with the niche? Shouldn't they be taking any and all tax clients and bookkeeping clients and accounting clients? And I'm like, listen, of course. Like, if you get business your way, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's going to make sense for you to work with that person, right? I'm not going to turn down a chiropractor because I only work with accountants. I'm not going to turn down a software company because I only work with tax professionals, right? If people come your way, you take the business. But the main thing that I found is that when you are going to the marketplace with your message, right, you have to be clear on who it is that you're talking to. And the only way that you're going to be able to be clear is when you speak to them directly. When I say tax professional, you perk up. You like, she talking to me. When I say bookkeeper, financial coach, CPA, I'm directly communicating to you. It's kind of like turning the dial on a radio station, right? And you're turning it, you're getting all of this static, you get all of that, right? That's your marketing message when you're trying to broadcast to everybody. It sounds like noise. It's just, you know, it really hurts your ears. You're like, just turn the station, turn to another station. Then when you get to that smooth jazz, that R&B, that's your market. You perk up. You feel good. The music is talking to you. That's what you have to do with your target market. You have to tune your message to the people that can hear it. And the only way to tune your message is to speak their language, right? Talk about what they're talking about. Like Jamar is talking about pricing for bookkeeping and accounting. Like, listen, if I was just a marketer, just trying to market to everybody, trying to teach people how to get clients, I couldn't answer that question for him. I don't know. You don't know, like, there's differences in how a bookkeeper or a CPA or accountant is going to structure their business than, let's just say, a lawyer. Like, their price point is going to be different, right? So I'm able to go deep, dive deep with you guys. I'm able to teach you more higher level services, such as how to do an advanced tax preparation if you haven't done like an S corp or a nonprofit. I'm able to go deep with you on financial coaching. I'm able to go deep with you on how to do a business tax plan to see, does your Schedule C clients, could they benefit from having an entity conversion from a Schedule C to an S Corp or a corporation? Like, I'm able to deep dive into your business and make sure that you are building a solid foundation in which you can grow to $10,000 to $20,000 per month. Because getting clients, that's a small part of the pie, right? I can teach you all day how to get leads, how to actually attract your ideal clients. But if you don't know how to talk to them when you get on the phone with them, you're going to lose. If you don't know how to actually service the client at a very high level, you're going to lose. If you don't know how to manage your workflow, that's the killer part. Jamar is right now on a Friday night still doing taxes. And when I was deep into it with over 300 clients, I was doing taxes and accounting and bookkeeping to the wee mornings, right? And then guess what happens? Clients get mad because you haven't responded to their email. Where's their tax return? Where's their bookkeeping? I need my financial statements because I'm trying to get a loan. Like, you are putting out fires, right? And people don't realize that. Like, you want all of these clients, but you need to know how to manage the workflow to actually provide great quality service, right? Whether you're doing accounting, taxes, or financial coaching or bookkeeping, right? So I'm able, by focusing on a niche, because I could have just been teaching real estate agents, right? By focusing on a niche, I'm able to go way deeper than just getting the client. I'm actually able to help you grow a sustainable long-term business. And the goal is to have you running the business as a CEO, for you to actually put people in place. Like, your first hire should be your admin, someone to actually help you facilitate the paperwork. Your second person should probably be an assistant bookkeeper, assistant tax professional. And then you start growing from there to where you're just managing the business now. Right? You're managing the tax work. You're not doing the taxes. You're managing the bookkeeping, the accounting. You're overseeing the process for quality assurance. You're not actually doing the work. I want you guys to get there, right? I want you guys to have more work-life balance to where you could leave the country for a week and not freak out that your business won't implode by the time you get back, right? So that's what I'm teaching. I'm teaching you guys everything, the gamut, from choosing a niche, how to actually find the problems and pains of that niche, how to choose your services, what services to offer, how to price your services, that to make sure that you have maximum return on investment. Guys, I price my services so low, and that's the quickest way, the second quickest way to go broke, okay, when you're not charging enough. And from services, we talk about marketing, okay? We use Facebook, and we use LinkedIn. And I just teach you how to attract your ideal clients on social media, how to invite them to a telephone conversation. Okay, now that you got people on the phone, what do you say? You need to know exactly what to say. So I give you a proven script. Ask these questions. Dig around this problem. This is how you position your value. This is how you make the offer. This is how you state your price. This is how you onboard the client, right? This is the systems and processes that you need to actually onboard the client. This is the email you should send out after you onboard the client, right? And then, okay, you got clients, you getting money. You accepted that first payment through QuickBooks or through Stripe or Square, whatever you want to use. Now we can start scaling it up. Now it's about having more conversations, getting more people on the phone, closing more people over the phone. And you're going to be talking to people all over the country. See, that's the beauty about this right now, is that each one of you guys right now watching this, you are all in different states right now. Like, I talk to people from Georgia to Texas, Florida, Chicago, Illinois, like all over the freaking place. I even talked to a lady in China last week. I talked to another lady in Australia, Canada, right? So you guys are going to be doing the same. You're going to be talking to business owners from all over the country. And what freedom that is. Like, I wish I had this 7 years ago, 6 years ago. I wish I knew how to actually leverage social media to attract my ideal clients, get them on a phone call, and then onboard them as a client. I spent a lot of heartbreak and pain, door knocking, cold calling, popping up stupid billboards with my big old head on them. Like, I thought I was something, y'all. I had my big old face on a billboard talking about come to me for your taxes or payroll. Like that, like, what's better, guys? To have a big billboard, and I know it's a good ego stroke. Like I said, I was in my 20s, I had a huge ego, right? What's better, to have a billboard that says biggest refund, or I'm an enrolled agent, and then have your face and your name? It looks good, it feels good, okay? I'm not gonna lie, it does look and feel good. But what's better, that or actually going straight to social media, going straight to Francesca and saying, hey, Francesca, I see that you're a tax preparer and accountant. I help tax preparers and accountants build multi-six-figure firms by marketing through Facebook and LinkedIn. Do you need any help with this? If not, no hard feelings. I look forward to following you on Facebook, right? Like, I'm going straight to my client. I'm actually going straight to them and asking them for the business. I'm putting up content that I know that they want to see, that I know that they can appreciate. And it's the same thing for any niche. I don't care if you want to get a chiropractor, if you want to get a restaurant, a manufacturer. It doesn't matter what type of business or what type of person you want to attract, as long as you know. You just have to know who you want to attract, right? And then after that, there's processes and systems in place to make this effortless. Like, a lot of you guys are in more pain than what you need to be. Right? You're making it harder than what it is. It's really that simple. Like, we are in a people business, and I teach you how to connect with people and how to build those relationships out and how to actually have that conversation and onboard them as a client, right? And it took me years to figure that out. Years, man. I wish I had somebody to teach me this several years ago. Hey, TJ. Hey, Michelle. Jamar says, you sold some nice real estate. Yeah, I did, Jamar. It was some nice, like, it was some like $2 million homes. Okay. 2.5, $1.5 million homes, right? Like, Zanita says, yes, I'm going through that now. Jamar says, some think you are a life coach. That's interesting. You know what? Hey, Danielle. Hey, Francesca. Hey, Zanita. Oh, Zanita's from South Carolina. Yeah, so like, South Carolina. I talk to people from North Carolina. And it's from like cities that I haven't even heard of, right? Like, I'm like, where's that at? I've never heard of that. So one thing that I do want to do is start, when I travel, I want to start doing like some pop-up meet and greets. So if I go to, let's just say, South Carolina, I'll try to let you guys know, just so, I can maybe post up at like a Starbucks and you guys can come and we can meet and hang out and stuff like that. So that's like on my bucket list to do, is to kind of, because the internet is cool. Like, guys, this is what I said. So like, the internet has broken down like the traditional way in which you get clients. Now you could be working with anybody from anywhere, from the comforts of your home, right? Before, several years ago, I had to open up a storefront. Like, I felt like, and that was so much money. I was spending $950 a month in rent. I was paying $200 to $300 per month in utilities, not including my internet, my cable. And you guys know taxes is seasonal, right? And so for you to be paying $1,500 a month or $1,000 a month for an entire year, it just doesn't make sense. You can't justify the expense, right? When you could work from home, or you could work from a small co-working space and serve and have clients from all over the country, right? And just make your life so much easier with less overhead. So that's the other thing, is just cash flow. Like, I want you guys to always be thinking about, do I really need this expense? Is this what I'm about to invest in really something that's actually going to help me make more money in the future? Right? And if the answer is no, don't do it. Like, if you don't know without a shadow of a doubt, if I do this marketing activity, if I pay for flyers, I'm going to get 10, 20, 15 plus clients from it, don't do it. Like, there's no predictability with it. And this is where I went wrong, guys. Like, I went broke doing that, right? And I don't want you guys doing the same thing. Hey, Deja. All right, guys. So this was Friday night. Thank you for chilling with me. We're all alone. The kids went with their dad today. So now we're just all alone with my rubber ducky. I'm learning how to code, which is just a cute little fun fact. I'm learning how to do coding for computers, how to create apps and, do like what they call it, UX and back-end design and JavaScript and Python, all of that techie stuff. I'm actually learning how to do that because honestly, guys, what I want you to do, and I'm going to tell you this right now, if no one else has told you, think about how your business will operate 10, 20 years from now. Think about that. The people that are going to win this game, the people that are going to be successful are the people that are long-term thinkers. They're sitting down right now and they're thinking, how is this going to be done 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now? And they start doing it today. So the thing that I'm learning and the thing that I'm seeing right now is that tech, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing, this stuff is about to blow up, okay? And people think that, foreigners are taking our jobs. No, technology is taking our jobs. There are a lot of rich people right now that are creating and investing money into artificial intelligence, which means that they can have a computer do what you do. Right? Like you go into McDonald's, you have the kiosk, right? You go to Kroger or some grocery store, they have the U-scans where you could do it yourself. They are trying to cut out as many middlemen as possible with artificial intelligence. I even saw that the other day that they can have a machine actually do your tattoo better than a person. Actually do a tattoo on you. And it's the sweetest thing that you ever saw, better than what a human can actually do. So machine learning, artificial intelligence, that's the future. So if you guys right now aren't investing in learning technology, like, before we had to learn how to do the internet, right? Like that was the cool thing to do, okay? And it was a learning curve associated with that. Now the next thing is actually learning how to code, like teach your children how to code. There are a lot of free camps, especially for minorities, that you can take your children to and teach them how to code their own video games. They play Minecraft, Roblox, they watch it YouTube. Teach them how to do that themselves because that's the future. That's their future job, is coding. There are going to be 500,000 plus jobs in technology that we just don't have people to actually take on those jobs. That's where the shift is, right? And it's great paying. Like the starting salaries are like $60,000, $70,000+ per year. That's more than what a teacher makes, right? A teacher goes in, I think an entry level salary is about $30,000 to $40,000 a year. So I'm doing this now. I don't know anything about technology, but I'll be damned that I won't be an expert within a year, that I won't know how to code an app or how to create a back-end development. I'll be damned if I won't know artificial intelligence and how it works and be able to articulate that, or machine learning or natural language processing, right? I'll be damned if I'm left behind. I'm not, right? And I'm going to innovate and create my own opportunity. Right? And I implore you guys to do the exact same thing. Figure out how your business can be done better. There are gaps in the marketplace right now. The current technology that you're using, the current ways that we're actually doing everything, all of that is going to be improved upon over the next couple of years. Why not you? Why not you think of the improvement? Why not you pioneer? You don't have to create anything brand spanking new. It could be an improvement, an iteration on something that we're already using that's actually going to help make our lives a lot easier, whatever that task or process is. So that's what I'm learning right now, and that's where the second phase of my life is going, is really creating technology that's actually going to help impact and inspire millions of people. Like consulting is a personal service, right? It requires me as the brand. Technology, I could scale that up to $1 billion business. Technology, you could scale that up to $1 billion business if you solve the right problem and it's the right time for that innovation or improvement. So that's what I'm working on right now, right? And this is why I'm in the house on a Friday night, because I'm about to hop on my my coding course and continue learning how to code on Python too and on JavaScript, right? So TJ Johnson says machine tattoo, yes. Machine tattoo. He says Apple Store have free coding class on Swift. Ruby developers make $90K working remote. Yeah, and you work remote. Yeah, you could work anywhere and code. And guys, honestly, if you took a 12-week boot camp class and you wanted some money, Don't try to start Amazon. Don't try to sell a product on eBay or any of that stuff. Don't try to create a passive product. I will honestly take a 12-week class, learn a program, a language, and contract on the side with some tech company for extra money. You're going to get paid like $5-10 grand a month just doing contracting from home. Like, that's cash flow, right? And that could just be a means to an end to do whatever you really want to do. But the days of just, oh, I'm going to start a transportation company, or I'm going to, drive for Uber or Lyft, like, that's cool, guys, right? Cash flow is cash flow. But why not work smarter, right? Not harder. Why not take the initial investment in short-term pain for long-term gain? Take the initial investment in time and actually invest in your future and your children's future too. Because they're not teaching this in school yet. They're not teaching the kids to code, and they should. It should be a requirement right now, coding. Our kids should know how to create the next Minecraft. Our kids should know how to create the next Roblox. I was asking my daughter today. I said, how can you improve upon Roblox? What's missing in the program right now that you wish was there? She's like, I don't know. Like, my daughter's 10. She's such a smart girl, and I'm gonna push her as hard as I can. But I'm like, listen, you're coding over the summer, darling. All summer is tech and code, and I'll be damned if you're not going to create a Roblox or a Minecraft, or if you can't improve upon that, right? You sitting here all day, these kids sit here all day playing with their tablets. Make their own app. Make their own game. Like, let's go. Like, we got to get these kids. Like, I told my daughter, I was like, you taking over the business. She's like, Mom, I want to be a veterinarian. I'm like, that's beautiful. We could take care of animals. We could even open up a animal rescue, right? But how can we have impact, greater impact? I'm trying to get her to think big, and she is like over her head right now, but she's going to appreciate it when she when she gets older. She'll be like, my mama is crazy. Danielle says, my kid's school do. Danielle, okay, so what school district are you in? Or what city is that? Yeah, Francesca, she's like, yes. They have to take it as an elective. Yeah, what grade and what school district is that in? Danielle, like, that's awesome. Like, I know that's not at my kid's school. They could take it as an elective, and it costs. Like, they could take it for camp, and it costs a few $100s. Like, it's not cheap. Actually, I think it's almost like $800 or $900 for them to go to a coding camp. I think what I'm gonna do is look for some of these free camps that are out for like minorities and women, because it's not enough minorities and women in tech. And so I think I'm gonna look for some of these boot camps to see if I can find and get her into one of those. And my son's 6. Danielle says she's in Jacksonville, Florida, River City Science Academy. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So what grade is that, Danielle? Is that like still like 5th grade, or are they like in middle school? Oh, okay. Elementary to high school. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But here in Michigan, I haven't, like, I've seen where we could buy it, and last year we just wasn't, we caught it too late, and it was like $1,200 for just a weekend. And they actually taught the kids how to create a game like Minecraft. Like, that was the whole camp, was to code like Minecraft or something, or to create your own Minecraft game. And I think that makes it fun for them. That makes it exciting. But we need to know guys, we need to get with the times, because how we do business now is not how we're going to be doing business in 20 years from now, 10 years from now, right? And I don't want to be 40 years old, like, with the boo-boo face on, like, oh, man, there's no jobs for me, because I wasn't steadily increasing my skill set, right? Krista, are you familiar with opportunity zones? No, I've never heard of that, TJ. What is that, opportunity zones? Is that for tech? Or is that like certain cities as an opportunity? I think Detroit might be an opportunity zone. I know a lot of places are becoming more tech centric, like Atlanta. If you live in Atlanta, you guys have been blowing up with tech. Okay, if you live in Philadelphia, you guys have been blowing up with tech. Detroit, this is where I actually took my coding class. It's now a tech hub. And in Detroit, it was free for me to actually go to the intro coding class. And then I want to pay to actually go through the whole 12-week the whole 12-week boot camp to learn all of the ins and outs, right? All right, guys. So I'm going to stop boring you because I'm a geek. I can talk about this all night. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys for spending your Friday evening with me. And yeah, I hope to see you next time and have a great weekend. All right. Get some rest. Have fun. And I'll check you later. Bye.